Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Can you please introduce yourself to the court?
My name is Wal Newton.
How are you related to this case?
Sir, I was present on the ship on this awful day,
Can you please tell the exact date?
23rd January, sir, 2016.
So you are going from Belltown to Galador
Yes, sir.
in search of asylum.
We were running for our lives, sir.
So who planned this whole journey for you?
Sir, I'm a common man, sir. So we were being heavily attacked. Our houses were burned, our houses were looted. So there are a lot of Belltown members there. So they said, come on, there is a human outreach organization's ship being arranged. So let's just run for your life. So I saw 2-3 people, the prominent faces whom I see there in Belltown. They were running around and I just followed them, sir. That's what happened.
So can you tell the exact, can you be more specific what happened then?
So we were on the ship. So the ship was small, sir. It couldn't accommodate all of us. We were around 70, 80, I'm not too right. So we were all crammed onto the ship, sir. And like some of them were telling some vessels are approaching us. So they were like all terrified and they were running around. I had a kid with me, so I was just keeping him close to me.
You told...
I saw these people told me that...
Sorry to interrupt you. But in your speech, you told that you were given instruction to lay down.
Yes,
Objection,
because...
Your Honours, the prosecution has again and again asked this court to ask the counsels to not rely on the communications to lead witnesses. Thank you, Your Honours.
Because we were a lot of people there, like, and it was a target for anybody. We were exposed. So some of them were lying down. We were all terrified. We couldn't shout, so we were all silent and we were
Why were you so terrified?
Because, sir, we were running for our lives. Like I told you, right, the conditions which were happening in our homes, they were burnt down. We were chased and killed. So I thought I'll just go to my relatives in Galador and settle there. So
can you please tell the court what happened exactly when your ship entered the territorial waters of Galador?
I heard people running around saying, oh my God, like 2 vessels are approaching us. So I just got my kid and I just was sort of hiding somewhere. Then, sir, I saw people running around on the ship. And, sir, like that was a terrifying incident, sir. I don't know what they used. Like, it was raining nails. Like, we were all injured. And those people climbed on our ships and started firing at us. And they took away my child from me. They kept me on point blank, questioned us, tortured us. And yeah, that's what, sir. And they tortured everybody as much as possible. Somebody was running for his life. He was running away and he was shot on his head. And like, terrified. Like I saw his heart bursting out. And the other man was like, oh, you did a great job.
Seeks apologies to interrupt you.
Sorry, but...
because due to the paucity of time, I'll try my level best to that justice is dispensed to you.
Thank you, sir.
Can you please, did you see the vessels by yourself?
I did not see the vessels by myself.
So did you hear anything about the vessel, about any flag or anything about the vessel?
Objection, Your Honours. The question is so leading. It's suggestive since it says that there's a flag firstly on board. So it's a suggestive question, Your Honours.
The council seeks to reframe. Did you anyone tell you that the vessels are coming from anywhere? Did anyone recognize the vessels?
People were running around and saying they think that they are Galadorian vessels. And the soldiers, like people who climbed up and attacked us were in soldier uniforms.
No further questions. Thank you.
To begin with, I would like to express my deepest sympathies with you.
Yeah.
Would you like a moment to have some water and
No,
compose?
thank you.
To begin with, in your earlier testimony...
Excuse me. I appeal to the audience to be restrained, please. Thank you.
In your earlier testimony, you said these people climbed aboard and started shooting. Is that correct?
Yes.
So there were subsequent firings on board.
Yes, sir.
You were sailing from Belltown to Galador on the 23rd of January.
Yes, sir.
Was the trip scheduled as such?
No, sir.
When was it scheduled?
It was scheduled for 25th, but we couldn't wait till then. It was an emergency situation.
Right. On 25th, however, was Galador expecting you on 25th?
Sir, I don't know. I'm a common man, sir. I was just told by the people that we couldn't communicate with.
Which people?
The people who were leading me to the ship.
Which were those people?
Those people who were the prominent faces I could see in Belltown.
Are you referring to the leaders of Beldome?
Maybe they are.
Thank you. Further still, as has already been averred, do you know if the ship was carrying some sort of flag or visual representation of its origin?
Sir, I told you I didn't see the ship.
No, the ship you were in.
We were told that it's sent by the UN, HOG, something like that.
Who told you this?
The people who led us to the ship.
The people. Thank you.
And yeah, there was a blue flag, I guess, United Nations, HOG. Yeah.
Please be sure. Was there or was there not?
Yeah, there was a flag. I think, yes, there was a flag.
Was that the only flag?
There were two flags.
Which was the other flag?
HOG and United Nations.
Again, succinctly, once more. How many flags were there total and which ones were there?
Two flags, one written HOG and the other written United Nations.
Thank you. At this point, Your Honor, I would like to point out in the compromise that it has been clearly elucidated that the flag on board the ship was that or simply Perusia. Paragraph 17. I put it to you, you're falsely deposing before this court.
Sir, I don't actually, that happened there. We were not in a position to.
So you are not sure of what flags were there?
There was a United Nations flag, and I think we were told that this ship belongs to UN.
Told by the Beldome
Yes.
commanders. Thank you.
Were you actually on the ship?
I was on the ship, sir, yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who was commanding the ship?
We were told that the ship was commanded by a captain from HOG.
You were told. Did you give written communication to the prosecutor?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this, Your Lordship, page 25, page 26? The written communication that you provided to the prosecutor?
Which says,
Is this the one?
yes, sir. Yeah.
In the same statement, you have made that the ship was being commanded by Beldome officials.
Beldome officials were controlling us, the refugees on the ship. They were guiding us.
You have said in your statement that the ship was
When we're coming to our conclusions, thank you.
obliged, Your Honor. Witness, please, as I was earlier saying, you in your written communication have stated that this ship was being commanded by some senior Beldome members and have made no reference to the HOG. Why is that?
Because whomever I saw telling us, guiding us were the Beldome members, sir. And it's from
How
them.
do you know that the ship was being commanded by HOG?
Because they told us
The
it's.
Beldome members
Yes.
told you that the ship was being commanded
Yes.
by HOG. Thank you. One last question in this regard. At the time of the incident, the vessels approached, and then people climbed aboard and started firing.
Yes, sir.
You said they were in military uniform.
Yes, sir.
Or did they wear any sort of representation as to which military?
I think it's something like SFC.
Again, there is no mention of this in your statement. Why is that?
Because I told whatever I asked. I was asked. I wasn't asked whether their uniform particulars. I just was asked that. It's a military uniform, sir. Now, when I recollect, I think when
Describe what a military uniform is.
Sir, I'm a common man, sir. I don't know much about it. What I saw is what I.
As a
what
common man, what is a military uniform?
What I usually see in movies, sir. The camouflaging, colored.
Camouflage and
Yeah.
colored. All right. And yet you have not mentioned anything about the SFC in your statement.
Sir,
should be taken into account. Only the testimony which has been submitted should be presented before the court.
Take note of your statement.
Your Honor, I
Please
have two
continue.
questions.
Please continue.
As I earlier said, you can't exactly recall which flags were on and or not because of the traumatic incident that was taking place at that time. Is that correct?
we were, yeah.
So it would be correct to say that, of course, you cannot also recall the exact insignia color of the military uniforms as such.
It was a military uniform, I can tell you that.
But you can't recall, it's for 100% certain, cannot recall that the insignia. Because a moment ago you also said you think it was SFC.
Yes, I think it
No
was
further
SFC.
question. But you can't recall 100%.
I think it is SFC.
You're not answering my question.
What's the question?
I said, given your traumatic state of events where you can't identify large flags which were flying before an attack occurred, do you...
Thank you. We'll leave it at that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I call on counsel for defense for cross-examination.
Sir, I hope you're doing okay right now. Are you okay right now?
Yeah, I'm sort of.
All right, sir. Could you please tell me that on that unfaithful day, how many people were there on board Goliath?
Around 70, 80 people were there.
70 or 80?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I did not actually count. We were like running for our lives. I just.
Okay. Isn't it true that you did not take authorization from the Galadorian government before entering their territory?
Ma'am, we didn't. I told you we were in such an emergency. We didn't have time for
Indeed.
communication, and I heard.
But you did not.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did not.
Can you please tell the court, if you recollect through your mind, that what time did you depart from Belltown?
Early morning, ma'am.
Early morning. And what time did you see the two vessels coming?
Ma'am, it was in the morning, around maybe between 8 and 9, like something.
Indeed.
But counsel,
Y-
just sorry to interrupt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why are you asking this witness a question about authorization from the Galadorian government?
Your Honor,
When this person clearly testified that he's a low-level person on the ship, he's not a leader. So why would he be the person getting permission?
I understand your concern, Your Honors, but in the present case, this particular ship did not take authorization from
He would not know
Galador.
that, right? There's no means for a low-level member who is just running for his life jumps on board a ship to know whether it's authorized or not.
Your Honors, in the present case, we're not contesting the facts that he is supposed to be aware about that, but were his Beldom members or whoever
But there's no testimony which suggests his knowledge of what the Beldom members
Indeed,
do or
Your
not.
Honors, I
It's
shall.
completely irrelevant.
All right, Your Honors, I shall move on to my further questions. Would you please tell the court that when the two vessels were arriving before you, did you shoot them first?
No, sir, I did not shoot them.
Not you, sir. The armed personals on the ship.
No, sir, nobody shot.
Nobody shot
Nobody
them?
shot.
Indeed. So they shot you first.
They shot us first.
Okay. How many people were killed when, if you recollect, how many people were killed?
Objection, Your Honours. How can he testify possibly when he has said that he doesn't know all the people on board? How can he testify how many people died?
I saw people dying in front of my eyes. Like, I'm pretty sure, like around 20, more than 20
Why
people.
was
might
this
have.
question not posed to the investigating officer?
Because clearly the prosecutor was objecting the defense counsel at every point. Your Honors, in the present case, why are we questioning him is so that we can relate his testimonial to the elementary facts in the present case, because that is something we can definitely rely on. And the elementary facts state that 24 people died. And Mr. Val Luton is giving us intricate information as to what occurred in Goliath. And he is stating that the personals who entered had SFC military uniform, which means that he's stating that the alleged accused is in the present case. Yes, Your Honors.
I don't frankly think that that question is appropriate under the circumstances.
All right, Your Honors.
Thank you.
I shall move on to my further questions. Could you please describe to the court that was there any simulated drowning done to you people?